Welcome and good morning, Center for Spiritual Living, Colorado Springs. We are glad that you are joining us here on Zoom. It is not necessarily a snowy day out there. The snow's on the ground, but it is definitely a cold day out there, -1 when we took the dog out. So we are glad that you are here joining us on Zoom for our Sunday service, and let's go ahead and get this service started. Steve, I'm going to hand it over to you for the announcements.
Good morning, CSL. I'm Steve, and I'm going to be reading the announcements today. As you can see, I dressed for the weather. I checked the weather in Hawaii, and it was 72 degrees today. So I figured the way to stay warm is to think warm. Our first class today is beginning Tuesday, January 28th. It's a visioning class, a 6-week certificated course with the purpose of awakening to the transformational nature of visioning. You will learn the visioning process to understand the organic nature of how visions unfold and to implement the visioning process in your life. The course prerequisite is Beyond Limits or Foundations. Class options are either from 1 to 4 p.m. or 6 to 9 p.m. And participation is either in person or virtually. You get a 10% discount if registered today by noon. The required text is Life Visioning by Michael Beckwith, and helpful but not required is his companion Life Visioning Workbook. Next, we have the Freedom Path and 11-Step Practice, Saturday, February 1st, noon to 1:30 in room 114. The Freedom Path Gathering is a sacred space where unconditional love and open-hearted sharing is available for anyone seeking freedom from limited beliefs, old habits, or dependencies that no longer serve them. It is co-led by Laura Weber and practitioner Renee Perkins. Wednesday, Spiritual Practice, February 5th, 6 to 6:45 p.m. Join practitioners Jeanette and Michael Keter for a walk the Labyrinth. This meditation will be held inside in the sanctuary until spring's warmer weather. We also have our Sacred Service Social Potluck coming up. Sunday, February 2nd. Bring a dish to share and join our volunteer coordinator, Santina Vietti, to hear about all the wonderful opportunities to be of service in your spiritual community here at CSLCS. Also, the CSLCS business office will be closed Tuesday, January 21st in observance of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And we want to give a big shout out and thank you to all the people who served this week for CSLCS. We love and appreciate you. And now, if you will stick around and join us for the service, I don't want to tell you to put your cell phone into airplane mode, so then you'll miss the service. So stick around and enjoy the service.
I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. Joy. I send my joy over the mountains. I send my joy over the sea. I send my joy into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my power over the mountains. I send my power over the sea. I send my power into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send peace over the mountains. I send peace over the sea. I send my peace into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. And it returns to me. One more time. And it returns to me.
Our words of inspiration today begin with Mohandas Gandhi. There is a force in the universe which, if we permit it, will flow through us and produce miraculous results. And from Lao Tzu, life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them. That only creates sorrow. Let reality be reality. Let things flow naturally forward in whatever way they like. And from our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, in spite of all our misdirection, we are still being carried forward on the bosom of the infinite stream to a harbor of perfect safety. We may rest in absolute assurance that good, or God, will be the final goal of all things. We can hasten the advent of this good by definitely clarifying our thought and by daily meditating upon the invisible source, the wellspring of life within each one of us. Pray with me. Oh, as I take a deep breath, I know that that breath contains the power, the presence, the intelligence of the universe. For I am that power, that presence, right now, right here. I absolutely know that I am filled with spirit. Spirit is in, around, and through me. Spirit is my creator. Spirit is guiding me and supporting me every second, every minute, every hour of the day. And I know the Spirit has given me so many blessings in my life, my family, my friends, my social community, my active lifestyle. I know the Spirit wants me to be a success in this life. And I know for each and every person listening to my voice right now, that they are guided and supported by Spirit, that they are in the flow of good, in the flow of God. I know that each and every person has the conviction, has the belief of good in this world, and they actively participate, excuse me, they actively participate in their life, in that active lifestyle, because that's all it takes. The conviction, the belief, and living a positive lifestyle. And right now, I know that the Center for Spiritual Living is blessed. I know that the building is blessed. I know that the leadership is blessed. I know that our production team is blessed. I know that each and every musician is blessed as they allow Spirit to sing and to play through them. I know that each and every practitioner is blessed as they hold the consciousness of our center. And I know that our children are blessed. I know that the teachers of our children are blessed. I know that all those suffering from illness or from grief have comfort and peace in their lives. And for all this, including Reverend Sally, I know that Reverend Sally is blessed as she speaks the words that we need to hear today. So I am grateful, I am thankful for all these blessings. Grateful and thankful for each and every one of you. And so with this said, I release my words to the law, knowing that the law's only purpose is to say yes, to make it happen. And so it is done. So I get out of the way. I let God have it. It is done. And we say in one voice together, and so it is.
Rolling river God, little stones are smooth. Only once the water passes through. So I am a stone, rough and grainy still, trying to reconcile the river's chill. But when I close my eyes and feel you rushing by, I know that time brings change, and change takes time. And when the sunset comes, my prayer would be this one, that you might pick me up and notice that I am just a little smoother in your hands. Sometimes raging wild, sometimes swollen high. Never have I known this river dry. The deepest part of you is where I want to stay, and feel the sharpest edges wash away. And when I close my eyes and feel you rushing by, I know that time brings change, and change takes time. And when the sunset comes, my prayer would be this one, that you might pick me up and notice that I am just a little smoother in your hand. Rolling river God, little stones are smooth. Only once the water passes through.
I just love, love, love that song, Rolling River God. So I want to begin today with a story. And the song really leads us right into this story. I entitled this story Bartholomew's and Boats Don't Mix. So, have you ever tried canoeing or kayaking down a lazy river? Well, early in our relationship, Dave and I borrowed my uncle's canoe and we took it down to the Guadalupe River near Canyon Lake, Texas. The trip itself, it started out full of joy and hope, with us allowing the canoe to flow with the river. It was glorious. The sun was shining, the canyons were just brilliant with light, and neither one of us was very skilled at navigation. And so we came up, we could see in the distance these rapids were coming up very quickly to us. And so as we approached the rapids, we tried to steer that bow of the boat into the place with the most lift from the water. Well, unfortunately, too late, we realized that our efforts, they were not working. So Dave is backpedaling as fast as he can, and I was praying. I was just praying that we would make it over the falls without injury. Well, the next thing I knew, the nose of the canoe clunk. It dug into the ground on the other side, the bottom of the river there. Me, Dave, and our pup Ivan, we were all thrown out of the canoe into the river. And the canoe, sadly, was snapped in half. So I stood up in the water. It was only so deep, so I was able to stand up. I stood up in the water and I look around, and there's our dog, Ivan, on the side of the riverbank, barking enthusiastically. Let's do that again. It's a good memory, and yet. So, why am I sharing this story with you? Well, it illustrates for me how life sometimes goes. Easy, free flowing 1 minute, and chaotic and catastrophic the next. Given that life sometimes works that way, we each get to decide how we respond to life's ups and downs. So this week, we are exploring the third chapter in the Science of Mind textbook, What It Does, as we continue our review of the basics of the science of mind. And this week's talk title, as you can see from the slide, is It Flows. Now, our weekly affirmation is Divine Nature flows as me, celebrating my highest good. Well, while contemplating, sitting with this week's talk topic, I wrote an acronym and I'm going to share it with you. It is flow, faith, where and on what am I placing my faith, love, where do I direct my love, operate, law operates automatically without reservation, and within. The only place law may operate is within us, within me. And the affirmation that I came up with is I am re-establishing my faith in individuals and myself. I am re-establishing other individuals' faith in me. And all of this is done by knowing that faith and love of spirit operate within me and them. It's really felt good using this affirmation this week. So, to truly embrace this philosophy and the teaching of the science of mind, we have to understand how the law, the activity of spirit, operates. And this requires more than just reading about it. We need to connect the dots and trace the effects in our own lives back to their source, to our own mind and our own consciousness. So, by recognizing how this power moves from our inner thoughts and beliefs to these outer experiences, then we can test and better understand their impact. We can change our lives by changing our thinking. And this process of connecting our inner world to our outer results, it's essential for deepening our comprehension of the law and of spirit. This year, we are rising higher and growing deeper. We're doing this work together this year. So, according to Ernest Holmes, as you can see on the slide, spirit, must pass through our consciousness to operate for us. And he says, let us restate our principle. We are surrounded by an infinite possibility. It is goodness, life, law, and reason. And it is expressing itself through us. It becomes more fully conscious of its own being through us. Therefore, it wishes to express through us. As Michael was referring to in his prayer this morning, it wishes to express through us. And as it, infinite possibility, goodness, life, law, reason, as it passes into our being, it automatically becomes the law of our lives. It can pass into expression on the next slide through us only as we consciously allow it to do so. That statement is huge because it's our choice. We are individuals. It's not automatic until we say yes. So Ernest goes on to say that therefore we should have faith in it and its desires and its ability to do for us all that we shall ever need to have done. And remember, since it must pass through our consciousness to operate for us, we must be conscious that it is doing so. So as I was praying, as I was going over that rapid, I was aware that the divine was fully present in that situation. That's what it takes. So the question is, are we truly aware of how this law works in our lives? Or are we oblivious to its influence? You have to look for it. Our teaching encourages us to focus on the cause of our experience. And I realize it gets a little tricky here when we say focus on the causes, because we're not asking anyone to point fingers or to cast blame. That's not what this is about. If we are rooted in love and possibility, that's what matters. We are recognizing the one life, the one power, the one presence, and uniting ourselves consciously with it, knowing that we are an expression of it. So, speaking to that disconnect, we're trying to connect the dots here, but speaking to the disconnect, we can have a kind of spiritual bypass where we acknowledge this oneness, but as we're living our lives, we live out our experiences contrary to this understanding. We act as if it isn't so for us. So by reflecting on the effects, what is happening in our lives, then we gain insight into how we are engaging with this law. And co-creation is always at play. We are seeking to cultivate a powerful awareness of what we are actively co-creating. So Ernest tells us that we each co-create or individualize this oneness based on our individual receptivity to it. He says, the scientist, the philosopher, the priest, the professor, the humanitarian, and the empire builder, whoever you are, whatever you're doing, the way you show up in the world, we all have caught some gleam, some sparkle of that eternal glory. And each of us has spoken this in our own tongue, in our own language, which in and of itself is universal. He tells us that each state of consciousness taps into the same source, but has a different receptivity to it. Each receives what he asks for, according to his or her ability to embody it. The universal is infinite, and the possibility of each of us differentiating this is limitless. So the law of mind and creation is accessible to everyone equally. However, here's the caveat: those who understand this truth and consciously act upon it or live with it, live from it, they seem to experience more of the benefits and more fully. Have you ever noticed there are people in life who are successful and happy and content? I know I certainly have, and I tend to gravitate towards these individuals. So what is their attitude toward life and themselves? It's a good question to consider. And as we're considering that, let's look at the other side. Consider those who frequently struggle or are often upset or just generally unhappy. What's their attitude towards themselves and the world? These are good questions to kind of be with. And, you know, early in my time here at Centers for Spiritual Living in Colorado Springs, I shared The Anatomy of Peace and The Power of TED books. And in these books, they both spoke to the troubles created when living one's life through objectifying others and through this lens of what's called the drama triangle, with its victim, its villain, and its rescuer. These roles, if you find one, anytime you see one, all three are present. So it's really important for us to not go unconscious and engage in this drama triangle. In the visioning class, I'm really looking forward to this class. And in this visioning class, we'll talk about this realm of victim consciousness where life is doing it to me. And we'll also talk about what do we need to let go of and what do we need to embrace to move beyond this level of victim consciousness. This is part of what we teach. So when we reflect on which group we most closely mirror, each of us individually, then the question becomes, what is your attitude towards yourself and others? Do you see others as objects to be gotten around to get what you want, or as people who are doing the best they can? Everybody's looking for the higher good. Is your outward expression one of contentment and peace, joy and possibility? Or is it the opposite? The law, the activity of spirit, flows through and empowers whatever we hold in our minds, in our hearts, and in our attitudes. So we're invited to let us seize this power for a more fulfilling and a vibrant life. Ernest says, as it shows on the slide there, our thought and conscious receptivity differentiate the universal possibility by drawing it through our own minds, our own hearts, and causing it to flow into particular channels. Remember, I spoke of the priest, the empire builder, the artist, the professor. These are particular channels through the conscious receptivity of our different faiths, where we place our faith. So one state of consciousness will differentiate one kind of a result, and another mental state a different manifestation. You know, if Dave and I had been able to steer our boat into another channel over that rapid, we would have merrily gone on our way down the stream. Merrily, merrily, row, row your boat. We didn't, and we're okay, but it's something to look at. So while everyone will have different thoughts, remember, each thought has an effect or what it does in our lives. The thoughts that are most frequently multiplied and emphasized within our individual or in our group collective, these are the ones that manifest in our experiences. Remember, last week, what I said was it's the sum total of our thoughts and beliefs that are demonstrated. And the question is, look inside yourself. What thoughts dominate your sum total? So we're learning that this is how the law operates. It brings forth the most dominant thoughts into expression. We're invited to reflect on whether our most dominant thoughts are constructive or destructive. Each is a channel. Each is a channel that we can choose. So the law, this is our call to action for this week. The law, or the activity of God, it is always in motion. It is, as it says in chapter 3, what it does. So how is it moving through your words, your actions? What are you accepting into your life? Look at your current life experience. Regardless of what you desire it to be in the future, what's happening today? Is there discord or is there harmony? Is there anger or joy? Trust or skepticism? Acceptance or repulsion? Choose. Choose again. Paddle towards what you choose. Can you connect the dots between your present experience and the sum of your thoughts? This practice, it demands patience, it demands focus, but it is achievable. That's why we come together in this community to help each other through this process. And I invite you to trust in your ability to make these connections and to approach your mind and your heart with kindness. It's not an opportunity for self-shame or blame, but it is a chance to awaken to your power and to harness it for positive change. Join me in flowing easily and effortlessly down this river of life. We can do this together. Blessed be. So this morning, as we go into prayer together, I invite us to close our eyes, to open our hearts and our minds to this fully present, fully available power, intelligence, joy, love, light, wisdom. And as we recognize this divine presence, I invite us to know that it is who and what we all are. For as I am a channel for this, I know that each and every one listening to the sound of my voice is a channel, differentiating how it reveals itself in this world, right here and right now. And so I am affirming that we are establishing open channels for the goodness, for the infinite possibilities, for life, for love, for joy, for peace, right here and right now. I know that our community is blessed. I know that all is well in spirit. And as we individually and collectively open our hearts and minds to this knowing, it demonstrates, for that's what it does. And I am so grateful for this. I simply give thanks. I let this word be. And together we say, and so it is.
Am I strong enough to bear the burdens that sometimes come living this thing called life? Am I wise enough to make the right decisions when I'm standing at the fork in the road? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize not alone, and there's nothing I have to do. place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Here I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up.
Yes, yes, yes. I am the place where God shows up. And so now we're moving into our conscious giving time. This is a time when we have the opportunity to give financially to the center. The center is like any other business, it runs on finances. So we appreciate the donations that you give to this center. And so I invite us to place our hands on our hearts, knowing that after service we'll navigate to donate online. But right now, I'm going to say the affirmation, and I invite you to say it with me. I joyfully celebrate the flow of God through me. I am grateful for receiving and giving to my spiritual community. I give thanks, always knowing that God is my source. And so it is. So there are various ways for you to give your donation. As I said, you can go after service, or you can click on the link that's in the chat to donate online.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to the present moment, here to a new beginning, here. And I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. 'Cause here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. 'Cause here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred soul. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul.
I am so grateful for our music ministry, and I am grateful for our practitioners. We have a strong group of practitioners who are always available for prayer. Today, if you want prayer after service, stay online. We'll find out if there are any practitioners who are available to give prayers in a breakout room. It's kind of free form today. So if you want prayer, please stay online. Otherwise, connect with one of our prayer practitioners after service. Let's go into the peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that is meant to be, with God as a center, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Thank you, everyone. You can put your view on gallery so that you can see everybody who's here. Maybe turn on your videos so you can say hey to each other. And as I said, anyone who is looking forward to having a prayer, just hang on. Thank you. Have a great week.